Super comfortable with that. Totally okay with it. Today did not go how I wanted it to go. God damn it. Hi, hello. So we are back at it in the van, and today, I am hoping to install my Maxxair fan in the ceiling. This, as you can imagine, involves me cutting a giant hole in the roof of my van. Super comfortable with that. Totally okay with it. So what I've done so far is I've taken this, is the frame that the fan itself sits in, and I have created this template that I'm using to trace and then cut in the van. So up here I've decided this is in fact where it's gonna go, where I had originally planned. So I'm glad I dithered about that for a while. So what I'm gearing up to do now is get all of my gear on the roof and start cutting. But first I'm gonna prep in here just a little bit. I've also taped this highly sophisticated, hefty bag up here just to catch all of those metal flakes, because even just from drilling the holes, there's all this metal down here, and I really don't want that getting to all of the parts of the van that I have meticulously waterproofed by now. I don't need any little metal fragments in there disintegrating and creating rust. Okay, so I am up on the roof, as you can see. I have just traced this out with my template. I'm just double checking to make sure that this lines up, and pretty sure it does. So now I'm going to drill out those pilot holes that I drilled a little bit more to make room for my blade, and then we'll get going. So what I've done here is I've taped around the edges. It's supposed to help with the vibration of the metal as you cut, as the little teeth grab. And then as I make cuts, I'll tape over it to hold this up so it doesn't rattle even more. Okay, it took some finagling, but it finally fits. So the next thing I need to do is get the actual fan up here and make sure that it actually sits in here before I decide that I'm actually done cutting. And then I can actually drill in the holes and actually get this bad boy installed. Okay guys, so today did not go how I wanted it to go. Just had a lot of struggles. I wound up going to like 3 different places looking for lap sealant, which is the very specific kind of caulking you're supposed to use. I haven't been able to figure out if that's because of the plastic in the fan or if that's because of the fiberglass that most RVs have incorporated. I don't really know, but I want to make sure I'm using the right tools. So I did find a RV camper haven, I'm gonna call it, huge camper store, relatively near here. So I'm gonna go tomorrow to get the lap sealant. So all that said, I thought, okay, well, I can still put the actual fan in today. I figured I could still drill all the holes. I have the butyl tape, so I could have put the butyl in underneath the edge and then locked the fan down, and then tomorrow just gone back up to do the lap sealant. So I got up there and all situated with all my tools and discovered that the drill I'm using, the chuck is just totally shot. Earlier I thought it was because the bit wasn't biting properly, maybe it was a little bit dull. So I bought a new drill bit. out at the store when I was there looking for lap sealant in my failed mission, and that's not helping either. It just keeps slipping in the drill itself. I'm using one of my dad's like 7 right now because I forgot mine at the house today. And my dad is actually in California helping his sister and my grandma out with some stuff. So that's the only drill I could find. I think tomorrow I will go pick up my drill and see if I have a little bit better luck. All of that is great. What it doesn't address is the fact that I still have a hole in the roof of my van. And it is now getting pretty dark out because it's the fall in Michigan, and that's what we do here in the fall. It's disgusting. It was actually a really beautiful day, but it's freaking freezing now, and it's dark at 6:50, so that's exciting. Anyways, I did take the opportunity to go in with the primer and some of that enamel to get all of that protected against the wet, and all I'm going to do tonight is just tape a garbage bag over top of it. It's not supposed to rain. Dear Michigan, please hear me on that. Please don't rain. Because that would just be catastrophic. Anyways, it's not supposed to rain, so I'm just going to tape a bag over the top of it to keep out the dew and the critters, because I'm out here at my parents' and there's critters, and get back to it tomorrow. I will say the other lesson I learned is the bit that I was using, the blade that I was using for my jigsaw. They recommend that you have one that is 24 teeth per inch, and mine is like 10 or something. Definitely not the recommended. So it definitely made cutting this hole a lot more difficult than it needed to be, and it definitely means that I will be getting the correct bit for the windows I'm doing in the future. Okay, gang. Hello, good morning. I am on my way to go get my drill so that I can actually drill those pilot holes to lock down the fan. And then I'm going to stop at my last resort for getting the appropriate sealant. I am stopping at RV General, I don't know, it's an RV superstore out here that I looked at their photos on Yelp, and there are pictures of the aisles, and I can see the lap sealant. So assuming that it is not all inexplicably sold in the middle of October, I should be able to get that today and finish up this project. So, on my way to get drill, lap sealant. So, evidently they haven't bothered to update their website, and they're closed on Sundays. I quit. Okay, you guys, we are back on the roof. I don't have the lap sealant. I've ordered it online. I don't know why I didn't just do that to start. But I'm gonna get the rest of the fan installed now. It's not supposed to rain in Michigan between today and tomorrow night when I'll be back here to do this. There's like a 7% chance, so based on the luck I'm having with this build, it probably will. But I've got the butyl tape, and I hope that that will be enough to protect it for just what little amount of rain we might get. So. Okay, so I've got all of the holes drilled and primed. So now I'm going to cut the butyl. They make a thing to fit in here, but I am just gonna slide in some extra butyl in these divots, and then layer it on top, and that should be enough.
Wake up heart and wake up mind, and see the world is yours to find, and with every passing more, calling you out to explore. Get up and go. There is joy found in the race, and I feel it in the place where I'm free. And I simply can't deny it, that I feel adventure calling out to me. Yeah, we are all looking for adventure. 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 We are all looking for And I'm living free, living free, living free, and I was meant to be living free, living free, living.
Okay, gang, so I have applied the butyl tape. I double checked that all of the screw holes were lining up. I started on either corner just to make sure that this stayed square and didn't get all wonky, screwing in other holes. I didn't tighten them all the way down before I double checked that the fan itself still fits. It does. So then I went through and tightened them all up. I've trimmed off all of the extra butyl that came out, and now I am going to install the fan. Okay, so to do this, they have you crank the fan until it's all the way open, so you can see that's closed. This is all the way open. I'm gonna make sure that the wires fall into the actual van because I'm gonna need those down below. And then wires in. I'm gonna try not to drop it. Okay, awesome. So the fan comes with very specific 1 inch or 3/4 inch number 10 screws to do this part so that you don't damage the internal. So you just want to make sure that you have the shorter ones that are in here.
And I'm living free, living free, living free, and I was meant to be living free, living free, living free, and I was meant to be. I'm living free, living free, living free, and I was meant to be free, meant to be free.
The fan is in. As you can see, I've got it in. So excited. Okay guys, so with the exception of the sealant, my fan is done. This turned out to be a lot more arduous than I thought it would be. Not particularly because it was that hard to really do, just because all of my equipment and supplies were struggling with me. My takeaways are I would definitely make sure that you have the recommended blade for your jigsaw, the 24 teeth per inch TPI, as opposed to a low grade one, which is what I had. And I'd also recommend making sure that you have all of your supplies before you actually start. So I wound up ordering my lap sealant online. It is scheduled to be delivered to me tomorrow. So either tomorrow night or the night after, I'm gonna come back out here to my parents. They have the big ladder to do the lap sealant. So the cover will slide up in here. There's this space. Cover will slide up in here. once I have my ceiling in. So once I know the depth that I need, I'll be able to cut that piece down and install it, and it'll screw directly into my ceiling, and I'll be set there. I'm also gonna get some like locking nuts to put on these screws because I chose not to build the wooden frame around this like you're recommended to do in like an RV or a camper. My screws, I did drill a small enough pilot hole that my screws should hold, but I don't really want to live with should. So I'm going to get some lock bolts on there just to make sure that it's locked in. So I just went into the hardware store to get some more foam for the wheel wells, and I finally found the lock nuts for the fan, at least I think. I got number 8 size because these looked like number 8s to me. Well, I guess we'll find out. All right. God damn it. Okay. This is why you check. I gotta go trade these in. Okay, so the last ones I got were the number 8s, and they almost fit. So this time I've gotten the number 10s, which are ever so slightly bigger, and we'll see if these work. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Yes! Awesome. Okay. I also don't know if I got enough of these. I got 20, which was a guess. I was literally just in here. I could have counted. I didn't. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, 16. I got 4 extras. Plus the other 20 that I bought before I figured out what size screws they were. So. Okay, gang, I am back on the roof. This is Monday after work, and I finally have my lap sealant. Arrived via Amazon earlier today. I drove out here, and now I'm finally gonna finish this frickin' fan. It rained last night on the way home, so that was super fun and stressful. God damn it. But I came back to check it, and it seemed like it was fine, so hopefully this is just the icing on the cake to make sure that it doesn't leak ever.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Okay, so all said and done, you guys, this project was not necessarily a super difficult one. It was intimidating because it was the first big hole I've cut in the structure of my vehicle. I think with the appropriate equipment set up appropriately, this could have been a lot easier than it was in my case. I'm not gonna do the breakdown, like the Excel sheet breakdown, because there's really only 3 things I bought for this. The Maxxair fan, the lap sealant, and the painter's tape. So not really a big list of things to see here. So not really a big list of project materials here. However, the total cost for the project was $370.03. The total cost for the van is just over $1,300. And the total project so far has been 11 weeks and 3 days. So from July 22nd to October 10th. Okay, so next up, I have placed the order for the bunk window and for the skylight. The bunk window, as I understand it, was delivered to my parents today. My lease here at the house is up at the end of this month, so I wasn't confident it would be arriving in time, so I've just started shipping important things to my parents' house. So this weekend, I will be hopefully, installing the skylight and the bunk window. After that, I have started to do the really intimidating work of figuring out my solar system. But after that, I will install the solar panels on the roof, and then I can start things like insulating and building the walls. Okay guys, so that is it for this episode. If you are enjoying what you're seeing, you want to hear more, please consider giving me a like and subscribing for the next video. Have a great day!